me why the anybody would want to own one of these cars. Now, the car we're talking about, if you can't see what kind of car it is, this is a Rolls Royce. It's called a Silver Spur 3. I believe it's a 1997. And let me tell you something. It's one of the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my life. Now, I want to show you their custom stereo system here. Can I go ahead and do that? If you look right here, they got a store-bought DVD player. They got some Sony amplifier that they stuck in there. There's another amplifier, which is an Alpine. Look at all the wires. Look at this shit. Just to make the stereo work. Okay, now this is a Rolls Royce, remember that. This thing here, I don't know what that's for. I believe that's the antenna system for the built-in phone. And we don't even want to go behind that piece of plywood that they put in here. Yeah, you heard me right. All right, plywood. This is plywood. Oh, I'm sorry, it's got an L bracket. Did somebody say battery kill switch out of a boat? Because that's exactly what that reminds me of right there. Something you see in a boat or a kit car, it's a battery engine kill switch. Wow. And then we're gonna get down to this mess here. We got 15 wires. That's 15 wires, and it's not 15 different colors. You can tell where I had to color code them with tape to make sure when I hook this piece of shit back up, we get all the wires back in line. Those 15 wires go inside the trunk lid to run the taillights and the trunk opener. That's what they do, 15 wires. Now in America, if we were to build a car in America that had 15 wires that went inside the trunk, we would put a disconnect somewhere to unplug them. Or we would make it very simple and easy where it would take 10 or 15 minutes to get the wire harness out, and then it would all fall back in place and hook up. But not Rolls Royce. They decided to run 15 wires through the trunk, and look how thick this is. You can see all these wires through the trunk to hook everything up individually. What I'm doing is I'm hooking up a quick disconnect here. Just happens to have 15 wires. So the next person that has to work on this piece of is gonna have an easy situation where it's gonna be a plug and play. Like it should have been in the first place for $250,000 fucking dollars. So we're gonna go look and see what the real mess is on our Silver Spur 3 Rolls Royce. Oh my God, look, it's got tail lights. It's got a license plate light. It's got a bullshit electric trunk opener that doesn't work. And then we get to this mess right here. 15 individual wires running through the trunk. Now this is what makes this a bitch. Do you see this carpet? That fucking carpet is glued to the trunk. It is glued down. You cannot remove it. If you remove it, you're gonna rip it and it up, and you'll have to replace all the carpet. Can somebody say over-engineered and idiot? Can somebody say that, please? So the guy buys this Rolls Royce from California. I told him not to buy it. I told him, don't get on the internet and buy a car like that you never even drove and you don't know what's going on with it. You're gonna really regret it. Well, let me tell you what. He regrets it. He gets the car here, and I don't know if anybody can see that. Do you see that RR, that plastic thing in the center of the hubcaps? Only one of them was good. He had to buy a whole set of 4 of them because they don't sell them individually. To buy all 4 of those cost $1,600. When the car showed up on the trailer, the headlight and the marker light were hanging out of the socket. Guess what was holding them in? Velcro! Somebody had put Velcro on the back of the headlight and on the inside of the bullshit marker light they got on this thing and stuck it in there. I'm not even gonna open the engine compartment because it's really not even worth it to open it. And let's keep walking down, and I'm gonna show you something else that was wrong. He washed the car and water was getting inside the door. Guess what was wrong? The little gaskets behind these door handles here were leaking. He had to replace all the gaskets on all 4 doors. Just in labor alone, where he took it, paid $2,000. $2,000 to replace the gaskets on the door handles. Speaking of door handle, let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look at it. As I open it, I'm feeling, oh my God, look what's going on here. The fucking door panel's coming off. The door panel is coming off of the car, the $250,000 Rolls Royce, and look what we got there. We got clips that are holding this door panel in just as if it was a kit car. A fiberglass kit car, that's all this is an exotic, very, very expensive kit car. Did I mention over-engineered? I think I did. He told me he didn't like the floor mat. He said the floor mat won't go back straight. It's all wrinkled up and curled up. So he went ahead and ordered some of those, paid $500 for them for 2 floor mats. He said he's gonna get those in next week. I want everybody to look at this steering column. Now, $250,000 car, and I want you to pay real close attention to it. Do you see anything funny about the steering column? Does anybody see anything? Anything at all? Can I go ahead and tell you what's going on here? Let me tell you what's going on. It's a non-tilt, non-telescopic, non-moving steering wheel. What you see is what you get, and that's all you fucking get. So I want everybody to take a good look at my ugly mug. I'm actually 6 foot 5.5 inches. I used to be 6'6". I think I'm shrinking, but last time I measured, I was 6 foot 5.5 inches, and I weigh approximately 245 pounds. And I'm going to show you what it's like for a 6 foot 5, 245 pound guy getting into a $250,000 fucking car with no tilt steering. And oh, I forgot to mention, the seat doesn't work. It is stuck in the place that it's at, and you cannot move it. So I'm going to come over here and try to get in this thing the best I can. And you can see already, look at this. Can anybody see what's going on here? I can't even get my head in the but I'm gonna go ahead and try. There we go. We are now inside the car. Let me go ahead and finish this little procedure out. I'm gonna swing this leg around under the steering wheel, of course, because I can't go on top of it. And then we're gonna go ahead, okay. So now, I am 6 foot 5.5. I am sitting in my $250,000 kit car, over-engineered pile of shit, and I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. Oh, did I tell you the electric seat doesn't work? I forgot to mention that. What else can we go ahead and bitch and complain about to make you, the person watching this video, that these cars are junk? They're f***ing junk. They're over-engineered pieces of shit. They're exotic cars for people to say, wowie, wow, look what I got, because Rolls Royce is this and Rolls Royce is that. It's a fucking junker. Let me see if I can get out of this thing. I gotta roll this leg out here, and then I gotta swing my body around here, and then, if I'm careful, I can get out like that. And now, we have just drove our $250,000 Rolls Royce to the gas station, got gas, and came back, and tomorrow morning we'll have to get more gas because it only gets approximately 4 miles to a fucking gallon! Now, there's a lot of people out there that claim, and I guess this guy's really, really famous. He's a real famous guy that actually hand pinstripes the fucking cars. Now, I'm gonna ask you another question. If you do something every day, day in and day out, and that's all you do as an assembly line worker, don't you think you would actually be good at it? Because if you're not, then there's something wrong. Now, this guy that pinstripes these, I don't know how old he is, but I mean, if you want to call that a custom pinstripe job and, you know, alleviate and blow it up into World War III and say, oh my God, it's just so flawless, perfect, there's really something wrong with you. Because that, putting 2 fucking lines from one end of the car to the other, is not a custom fucking pinstriping job, whether it's tape or by hand. I can show you examples of pinstriping that is custom and very intrigued and exotic. I could do that, but why? Because we're looking at the most exotic car in the world, the Rolls Royce. Did I mention that the car is made out of aluminum? This is an aluminum body car. And if you wreck this car, it's very, very expensive to fix it because aluminum does not move like metal, of course. Let's go ahead and shut that door. And look at that, it doesn't even shut right. It doesn't even shut all the way. You gotta slam the piece of shit to really get it to close properly. There you go, bitch. There you go. So I'm gonna go and continue to work on the most over-engineered piece of shit made in the world, the Rolls Royce. Just a pile of junk is all it is. It's a pile of fucking shit. I'm sorry to say that, but facts are facts and it's fucking true. You know, there's no way out of it. There's nothing we can do, but, you know, just move down the line and hope that, you know, shit's gonna happen. Or should we say shit's gonna fly? Or should we say shit's gonna be flushed down the fucking toilet because it is a piece of shit. Whatever the fuck we want to call this, the only word I can think of right now is shit. I mean, that's all I can even think of. That's the word that I'm thinking of here, and I can't get that word out of my mind. Shit. Fucking shit. Shithole. Piece of shit. I wouldn't own the shit. This ain't my shit, and I gotta go. Well, it's been a long day. We got the trunk all wired up, finally. Soldering all the wires, heat shrink tubes, this, that, and the other. Got the deck lid on it, came out beautiful. Probably looks better than the car. Now the lock, and there's another cluster right there, is the lock on this thing. The mechanism and the lock retainer and all the shit that makes it run. You want to talk about a cluster shithole? You ain't seen nothing yet. I told him I'm not messing with that. He has to figure out how to buy some parts or something for it. I wish I had it here to show it to you, but we don't have it. There was a couple other things that I didn't tell you about. Let's go over them real quick. Now, from my understanding on these things, this particular one in question, I heard a rumor that they actually have 350 turbo Chevy transmissions in them. Now, I don't know that for a fact, so don't quote me on it, and I'm not going to get up under there, or I'm not going to research it, but that's what I heard, that they had 350 turbo Chevy trannies. Another thing I heard is that they got a Lucas ignition system on them, and once that thing starts going out, it's a cluster fuck from hell, is what I heard. So yeah, that's another thing I heard. Now, I can kind of agree with the Lucas ignition because of the wiring that we ran into in the trunk. So I'm sure if anything goes wrong with this wiring, it's a real nightmare to fix. But I want to show you something here. Now, this car has low mileage. Of course, you know, most Rolls Royces do, because you don't buy them to drive every day. It's a prestigious car. It's a concourse car to show your eliteness of being filthy rich. Kind of like that emblem right there. You know, how many cars do you see that actually have an emblem like this on it? Exactly. All right, I know the new ones, they got this remote thing where it goes down into the grill and comes back out and all this shit, you know. And anybody that buys a Rolls Royce, oh God, I gotta have that. It's gotta be the remote control one. Yeah, okay, sure thing. So anyway, I was working on the car, and I had Minnie, the body shop girl, pull this piece of shit out, and I couldn't get the door open in time for her to pull it out. But I want to show you, this is your Rolls Royce expertise, you know, $200,000 pile of shit car, however much the thing costs, I don't know. I think the guy actually paid, to be honest with you, I think he paid $53,000 for this car. Me personally, that's ridiculous for a 97 model. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the car, and I want to show you the reliability and the durability and the strength of what one of these fucking things actually go into. Hang on, let me get in the car and I'm gonna start it up. Fucking bitch! I can't get it, cocksucker, you motherfucker! Son of a bitch! Alright, we're not gonna keep it running long, but I want everybody to pay close attention down there on the exhaust. Carbon monoxide suicide situation going on. The smell from just starting it up right here is atrocious. Let me rev it up and see what happens. I'm not gonna be able to see it, but let's give it a good rev. I want you to watch this shit. I think you got the picture of what's going on here on your $200,000 automobile. Hang on, I gotta step outside. Woo! Son of a bitch, I didn't want to commit suicide tonight. That was not my angle of anything at all. But that's just another angle of your $200,000 Rolls Royce action. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, these cars are not what they all are up to be. It's a glorified, horrified, fucking expensive, exotic kit car is all it is. That's all. It's a fucking kit car. Let me show you something else, and we gotta turn this piece of shit off. I'm dying over here. Can anybody see what's wrong with this center console? Anything? Come on, throw me a bone here, people. Do you see anything wrong with what's going on here? Let me go ahead and tell you what it is so I can get the hell out of here. We got an aftermarket cup holder that was purchased over at AutoZone. The fucking thing doesn't even have a cup holder built into it. What the fuck is going on with that? Wow. Okay, I gotta get my exhaust fan turned on here. Oh my God. That is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let's get over there and turn that thing off and get the hell out of here. Well, I can say one thing about the whole situation. It's got a lot of interior lights. We definitely need those. So when we break down, we got enough light to figure out what the f*** is going wrong with it. One more thing about this car. Let me go ahead and show you here. The key goes in upside down. Why? I don't know. But there you go. 1997 Rolls Royce Silver Spur. $200,000 car new. $53 to $58, $60,000 used. And let me tell you what, the biggest pile of shit, one of them anyway, that I've ever laid my eyes on. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. Over here giving you the square deal on the deal that isn't a fucking deal. It's a piece of shit deal. And if you think that's a deal, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. I don't know if you paid attention, but when I went to try to start it, the battery was almost fucking dead.